Hi Aries, thank you so much for enjoying your sweetest moments with me, merging timelines. Today is a very general weekly reading for the star sign of Aries. Did I say Aries? Aries, sun and moon viewers. Yes, I only read for sun and moon viewers. So if you have a sun or moon within Aries, these messages are for you. All right. So here we go, Aries. Let's go ahead and see what comes through for our weekly energy update. I hope you all have been doing well and that you reach out to me from time to time. Let me know that you're watching, that you enjoyed the messages, or even if you didn't. I do appreciate any sort of feedback that you have to offer on the channel. And if you do happen to like my style of reading, I appreciate most if you could just tell someone that I think you should watch this channel. It may be able to help you. I'm very grateful for all of the love that you share. All right, Aries, sun and moon viewers, Aries. So we've got 2 cards on the table right now. We've got 4 on the table. So let's go ahead and put those out. And what's very apparent to me is that you're doing a little bit of stalking. Not intentionally, though. It's research, Mel. I'm investigating. Ooh. And then the star card just flips out. They have to give you something nice because I just called you a stalker, but it wasn't intentional, okay? So basically what they're showing me is just like another reading that I did yesterday. Your below is hidden and your above is kind of apparent to everyone. So it's everyone but you. All right, so I'm moving a little quickly in this reading and I apologize. I'm going to try to take a step back so that I can properly convey the messages that are coming through. Okay, so let's start with the most obvious point, which is your present energy. You're very curious about something that you don't really understand independently, but it has been, someone shared it with you. Someone shared a little piece of information that kind of has you craving more about it. Like, tell me about this more, Mel. What exactly is this you speak of? And so this could be an Aquarius, or this could mean that you're going into some sort of healing period, right? Maybe this period is evoked from an Aquarius, but either way, this card coming up in your future is a very beautiful card to have. All right, and then your advice cards. Well, your advice cards have everything to do with the thought patterns that you've had in the past. Some of them have made you very fearful, and some of them you're asking now to release, okay? So every bit of the past, I feel like they want you to let go of, except for one sword of truth. Because as you can see, this one is a 9 and this one is an 8, right? So the differences between these 2 cards here is that your 9 of Swords is your fears, your thoughts that are making up for fears. They're not real fears. Okay? So what I'm telling you is that whatever it is that you're overthinking about, stop doing it, because it's creating a very low frequency for you to experience. They want you to be like this. They want you to take those swords and only keep one of them, your sword of truth. Okay? So as we get into your above status, I'm going to go ahead and pull your angel message. Okay, Aries, sun and moon viewers, let's get an angel message for the reading. I freestyle this, so everybody's reading goes a little bit different. Some people say, oh, I pulled this one first, or I pulled that one first. I kind of go with my feelings. So you have the angel of beauty and the angel of education. Now this is interesting. It says, I see beauty in the mirror of life. All the nature is beautiful, and through its order and rhythm, we know the truth of its laws. To feel the rhythm, to notice the sacred order in our lives, is to see the beauty in a grain of sand, or beyond or behind the most challenging appearance. So that card obviously speaks of every bit of our experiences drawing me back to the Nine of Swords, even those ones that you're afraid of, happening again was a beautiful experience for you because it added to your discernment today. Even if it was something that you didn't enjoy, because you experienced it, you now know what you don't want to experience again. That makes it beautiful. Or so, maybe bittersweet, but it's still beautiful because in the evolving of that negative experience, meaning the survival of it, you then took something tangible, something that you could use along your journey. Okay, now I speak of that in this next point of card, which is the Angel of Education. So I feel before I read it that every bit of that experience that you had in your past is to help you teach someone moving forward. So you have the Angel of Education. I am open to the education that is inspired by my soul. So true knowledge comes to us when we are in tune to soul, and that we receive from the external world is secondhand information. Direct knowledge is something we can contact when we realize it is already within ourselves. Education is allowing the soul's latent wisdom to manifest itself, teaching us how to live. So again, going back to your Nine of Swords, every one of your experiences is very useful information. Of course, you may not want to go back down that road, but you don't have to. Only you get to decide how many times you have to evolve from that cycle in order to fully carry the wisdom in which you would need to teach. Okay? So I feel like those cards are very good for you, and I'm so excited to see what's next. Let's go ahead and look into your environment. So your environment, wow, the Ten of Cups. So that card talks to me about a family or a great abundance of love that for some reason you've put to the past. Maybe you found that that experience was completed and that there was no more to feel from it. Maybe that love has passed or gone on, and so you've had the need to complete the cycle. But either way, what I really want you to notice about this in your environment is that that's how everyone sees you. Everyone sees that you've been extremely disappointed in love this far, okay? Your current energy in your heart. So your heart does ask you to move very, very slow at this time. This is Virgo energy. This one talks about needing to be very mindful of every move that you make, okay? Because you're moving very slow and in the Virgo element, you're a perfectionist when it comes to things that you are vulnerable with. Because you're very careful at this time, I feel like you have all the tools you need to do what you need to do. Like it's like the divine says, I understand that you will now on proceed with caution. Even though you don't see that it's working towards something of the past. Because if you look at these cards, this person is going back to this. So this may be the reason why you take things slow, or this may be the intention to take things slow, and you get to decide. But then moving to your provoking energy, this is the influence card. You have the Tower in reverse. So what's interesting is that there's something that you're not ready to let go of, and so I find that you are looking from afar to do your research on it, to understand more about it, because even though it's created some sort of disappointment, like a great deal of disappointment, you're not ready to let it go. And so I feel like you're headed back to that direction, only this time you're taking very slow steps, okay? And I feel like the way you're taking the steps is in the material world. So you may be working on a project, or you may be working on some sort of investment, and the end all be all happens to be the same result, no matter which path you take. Okay? So I will go ahead and pull your universe message, and then we'll merge your timelines, an effort to help you hold the message for what is being delivered today. Now, the trouble I have, Aries, with a lot of people is that it's a human flaw to want to know the destination of every journey. However, the biggest keys to the destination is to enjoy the process as it's happening, because the moment you don't, you end up having to restart the project, right? For example, it's like if I'm going to a dance competition, okay? You've already worked to get to the competition, but if you start to think about the reward, you don't perform nearly at your best, okay? So that's my little piece of message to you if you don't receive anything else. That, as I was looking up, was 11:11. I don't think if you noticed, but I kind of glanced at the camera for the time, and it was exactly on 11:11. So if you don't hold any other message, please hold that one the most. That no matter what the destination looks like, it's all about how much fun you're having in getting it, okay? So if your idea is to figure out how to get closer to the highest expression of love, make sure that you're enjoying the moment to the fullest. Okay? All right, so here we go. Your card here is going to be, there is nothing sexier than my authentic truth. Now this one happens to be my favorite out of the deck. It's very beautiful. It's purple and it's a moon in the background. So what I get from this is that purple is very healing information, but it's also intuition. What it calls you to do during full moons is to listen more to your thoughts and then allow yourself to release them. Full moons are times to release those of which you want to change. Okay? But it asks you to be very clear and very specific. I know that there's something that you're very sure that you're not ready to hold on to. So I don't think that this is what it is. I think that what it is what part about it ended up being this way instead of this way. What part of this that you don't want to hold on to is the reason why you look at it this way, or you feel about it this way, more importantly, because you're not really looking. What you're looking for is the research that may make you in alignment with that experience. How was I a product of it? How did I invest in it? How did my investment add up to where it is today? Okay? Very nice place to be. There is nothing sexier than my authentic truth. So I want you to know that we spoke about your truth when we talked about your advice cards. We said that the Nine of Swords talks about sleepless nights and fears, but those that they don't want you to experience. This is your advice card. You think that they want you to sit here where your higher self is looking at your lower self like you should feel this way? Not at all. There is a bird in the background that says that they want you to feel that little sense of freedom. But you have to know that you have the ability to. And how? You release these 8 swords. Now remember, I said that you release 8 swords from starting from 9 swords. And that way you're going to take one with you. One sword of truth. And so that sword of truth is for you to hold and for you to express when you feel most vulnerable, most comfortable, okay? So as you come into this new energy, maybe in Aquarius season, for those of you who don't know, is at the end of January and beginning of February. During this time, I feel like you'll be ready to accept your truth, because you will feel as if you are strong, no matter how vulnerable you are at the moment. So I'm going to take this time to merge your timelines, and then we'll wrap up your message. So the past we spoke about, past, present, future. If you don't know, now you know. They simultaneously exist based off of how we're feeling at the time, and our feelings create our futures. Okay, so I'm going to talk about our mind in the past, what we can fully receive about ourselves and our experiences, that in our environment we've expressed a great deal of disappointment. We're no longer emotionally fulfilled in something that we invested time and time and time again. Now 10 is a number of years, but you could have done this cycle as many times as you need to, and still haven't received a point of where you can hold the message, right? So the message being held is in the upright, but the message in the reverse means that you're still doing the research. You're still trying to understand how you have gotten to this point. So then as you get to your moon sign, the moon sign talks about, or the moon sign, sorry, as you get to your feelings, if your heart is showing up like the Knight of Pentacles, we already discussed that it says, I'm going to take things very slow. I know how to ground. I know where I feel most abundant, and so I'll start there. Again, you could be working on a creative project, you could be building something, or you could just be taking something very, very slow. Either way, it just means that you know it's something that you really want, and so you know that in something that you really want, you take your time to make sure that every stone and every dollar and every energetical investment is placed in the right position at the right time. This comes with healing, though. I don't think you realize that. But in doing this creative project, you've allowed yourself to heal. Now, the good thing that you can't really see about Aquarius is, although they show up so bright, they don't really recognize their own emotions. They're just worried about serving their community. They're worried about serving others. So I do see that you're very distracted on who you want to provide for rather than providing for yourself. Okay, Aries, you're at a moment in time in the future where you feel like you want to serve others, and that's very beautiful to see. Now, as we finally get to your highest timeline, it may look a little shaky, I'll be honest. It's not, ooh, but what it is it's forcing you to see that if there's a little bit of reluctancy within letting something go, maybe it's not about letting it go, but letting go of the way you look at it, okay? Or letting go of the way you think of it, most importantly, okay? So I hope that you enjoyed this message today. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out or just like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye.